So, what was it like growing up for you?
So I was in a super conservative sect of Christianity that is sort of like a couple steps up from being Amish. Women wouldn't cut their hair. We didn't watch TV, no movies, no music that wasn't from the church, no radio. So we didn't use a lot of technology, no video games or anything like that.
Did your parents like full on believe in it, or was it just like you were just kind of brought up that way, you kind of expected it?
Well, actually, my mom was in the church and my dad was not. And my dad was actually kind of an abusive person and he used a lot of drugs. But because we were part of a church that didn't believe in divorce, so that even though he was not a great person, they pretty much said she had to stay. And my dad did not like the church. I think that I actually stayed longer in the church because I didn't want to admit that my dad was right about anything.
Is he in your life, or is he out? Like,
He passed away 2 years ago, but I actually hadn't talked to him in 20 years.
in the way you grew up, women were not allowed to cut their hair, makeup, get tattoos. Did they believe in natural beauty, or like what was the status around that?
Yeah, I think that women are supposed to have modesty and that that's going to be something that's a sign of your devotion to God. And that you shouldn't try to be overly sexual, and you should try to have natural beauty. And I think the idea is that God created you perfectly the way you are, so you shouldn't be trying to change that.
Did anyone try to challenge that, or like secretly get a tattoo or anything like that?
I think there's always people who do that. I mean, I know some girls would kind of like trim off the bottoms of their hair, or you couldn't wear makeup, but some people would wear like chapstick that had denting in it or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think there's always people who are trying to like kind of get around it. I think some families kept a secret TV in their closet too.
What TV was a bad thing?
Yeah, no TV, no movies.
You didn't watch TV until like maybe, I'm guessing, your adulthood?
Yeah.
When did you like, not leave, but like when did you kind of like, let your foot out of the closet,
I think I started to leave when I was in college, but I didn't fully quit going until I was 28.
What college did you go to, or like what did you do?
I went to Iowa State.
Teaching, I am assuming, or?
No, actually I have a history degree, and then I didn't actually become a teacher until I was 40. I think that when you are a history major, you either are going to become a teacher or you're going to go to law school. I actually really always thought I would go to law school. I was sitting with a young man in jail, and I was doing some work for a criminal defense firm. And he was telling his story, and I thought, oh my gosh, I could be the best attorney in the world, and there's nothing I could do for this young kid because he messed up his education. So I thought, I guess I'm going to be a teacher instead of a lawyer.
And maybe it's off topic, but like, what happened to that kid?
I actually have no idea.
Oh, okay, it was just a one-time thing?
No, we were just trying to figure out if we could help him, and we couldn't.
How did you entertain yourself? Because like you mentioned no dancing even, so.
I was outside a lot, so I did a lot of bike riding. I did a lot of art. I think I was just pretty creative. Like, I grew up in Cedar Rapids, and we had Quaker Oats is there. And so they have this giant competition for making castles. We make cereal boxes, and we made like this 6-foot castle out of cereal boxes. I don't know, and we made, we had a cardboard boat regattas, and so we made boats out of cardboard and then would race them. I mean, I don't know. We were always really creative and out doing things.
Yeah, that you have to if you want to entertain without like television or like, obviously television was not around for a long time, but still, even it might be rude, but how old are you?
How old am I? I'm 48.
Okay, like the 90s probably.
Yeah,
the 80s.
So we had Nintendo, but no cell phones. Kids are always like, what would you do without a phone? But the truth is our parents couldn't track us. So they'd be home at 10 o'clock at night. And so there'd be a lot of times during the summer we'd do things like, I lived in Cedar Rapids. It was like 4 or 5 hours to get Chicago. Yeah. So sometimes we'd get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning and we'd drive to Chicago and go to all the museums and then drive home and still be home by 10 o'clock at night.
What's church like?
So we didn't actually have our ministers there most of the time. So Sunday morning, you'd usually meet between like 10 and 30 people, depending on how big your community was. And then you'd sing, there'd be a time of prayer, and then each person who was kind of age, so like think like 12 and up, rather than having one minister sharing one thing, you had like 10 people sharing something.
So it was like teenagers and like up?
Yep. So like when you feel moved that you want to be part of the church service every week,
Yeah.
then they call it professing. And then each week you just share something with everybody.
Did you ever speak?
Yeah.
How old were you? Like 12, 13? Like...
No, I think I was 8.
So you were really young. Basically.
I was really young. Most people aren't that young. I have read the Bible more than most people have.
Do you still like read the Bible and like believe in all that stuff?
I think I'm still in the process of figuring out what exactly I believe. I know I believe in something. I think a lot of religions have some basis in truth. I think that there's been so many translations of the Bible that it's hard to know what exactly is true.
I noticed you got a tattoo. I've actually never, or is that just drawn?
That's just drawing. I do have 2 tattoos, though.
Oh, is that like, because did you get your tattoos afterwards, or like when did you get that? Because like we just said, you can't really let them.
I do have 2. The one on my back says 55, and it was the 55th sin I committed after I left.
Oh. Can I ask like what that was?
We jokingly, my sister and I made a list of things that we've done that were sins. So like, I cut my hair, I wore makeup, I pierced my ears, I wear pants. I've sworn, because we didn't swear either. I've watched TV, I've watched movies, listening to music, going dancing, and we did a whole list of them. And I had 54, and we thought it would be funny if I went and got a tattoo, which was 55.
Has it gone up since then? Probably.
I got divorced, which was also a sin.
Oh.
So, yeah.
How did you view the outside world? Was it in college?
I mean, I think growing up that you were taught that you're supposed to, like, the Mennonite and the Amish, they live separate from the world. Yeah. But we were supposed to live in the world, but not be part of the world.
How do you mean?
So, like, you're living a holy life in a whole bunch of people that are sinners and going to hell. And so you're supposed to be there and be an example for them to see, but not really interact with them.
So like you were basically you're basically in this little circle. You just but you don't pop it at all.
Yeah, and I think that that's actually one of the things that caused me to leave was I can't look out at everybody else and think that everybody else in the world is going to hell, especially since I know that I'm not a perfect person, so I just couldn't look at that. And then when you start looking at the Bible and things like, and I just couldn't look at everybody in the world and think that everybody was a sinner and they were all going to burn in hell and die.
And is that definitely widened for you? Because like, how long has it been since you left? Like 20 years?
Yeah, actually exactly 20 years.
Well, I do want to ask, what would happen if you broke a rule? Like, I mean, like if you got a tattoo or like you cut your hair like to a short length for what, yada yada.
A lot of social ostracization, like people would really look down on you, which doesn't sound like it's that bad, but when you're really part of a small community and you're not,
that's all you got.
That's all you've got. So when I left, if you're Amish, they actually shun you and they won't talk to you at all.
Just mean ignore you?
Yeah, but in my church, they will still talk to you, but you're not really family anymore. Like, my grandparents, my aunt and uncle, and my cousins, like, they'll talk to me, but it's like...
Not really family, like...
Yeah, it's almost it being a polite stranger.
Okay, I gotcha.